Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity baby dow. Hail to the newborn king. Let our voices sing him our praises.
Here it is again.
Oh my.
In fact, I knew it was going to be here. The microphone. That's because, welcome to another episode of American Brews and Tunes.
Yeah.
My name is Steven Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
Which episode is this? Episode 13. Lucky
Ooh.
number 13. Not
Yeah.
unlucky number 12 or less than lucky 14. Lucky 13.
Yeah, we'll see how next week goes. But this is lucky number 13 for us tonight.
Yes, it is. For all of you American Brews and Tunes listeners out there, you already know what we're about to talk about this episode because you know what we have listened to.
Yeah.
For everyone else who has pretty much not listened to this podcast, which is...
Maybe you're just joining us.
Maybe you're
This is
just
your
joining us.
first
That's the best way to
episode.
phrase it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But then again, if this is your first episode, here's a little outline of
A little
what this
outline,
podcast
a little
is.
summary.
Every week, me and Jesse recommend albums for each other to listen to.
Yes.
Myself, an avid punk rock listener, recommends a punk rock type album for Jesse to listen to.
And myself, a avid folk, indie, other, thing besides punk listener. Alternative. That's the word I was looking for. Recommend an album in those genres for Steve to listen to.
We listen to them for about 2 weeks, and then we come together and talk about them.
And what else do we do?
We drink beer.
Yeah, we try to do a new brew every week. One that we haven't had.
For those of you who are thinking, beer? We're not drinking Budweisers or Coors or anything like that.
No.
Or even Miller.
Or PBR.
Yeah, we're drinking craft beer.
Yeah.
American craft beers. So each week we try a brand new one. I have a brand new beer and Jesse has a brand new beer. We try them, we talk about them.
Yep. So that is the format.
And here's the podcast.
Yeah. So last week, do you want to start off with beers or with music? I mean,
Let's just
start off with beers.
let's start off with beers. Yeah. What do you have this week, Jesse?
I have a beer by Abita Brewing Company.
And for those of you who don't know what Abita is, you might have heard of the beer Purple Haze, which I believe is a raspberry lager. It's pretty popular. You can find it at a lot of bars.
Yeah,
and
it's really popular.
That's brewed by Abita.
Too sweet for me. I've had it once before.
I had it when I was freshly 21, and I liked it.
Well, yeah.
But I haven't had it much since.
I know a lot of people who like it.
My mom likes it a lot.
Yeah, Cheryl does like it.
Yeah.
Shout
out
but
to
anyway,
Cheryl.
this is their Shotgun Double IPA.
Interesting.
Yeah, and on the front there's some sort of house atop big hops.
Yeah, the house is literally sitting on a couple hop flowers.
Yeah. I like the colors though. It's like a weird
There was another
forest green, blue, and
another beer I had from Abita called the Andy Gator.
Yeah.
And
I've never had it, but
it kind of tasted like Upchuck.
okay.
It was not pleasant.
Oh, puke.
Yes, I was trying to say it politely.
I thought you were trying to get me to say, "What's up, Chuck?"
Oh, not much. What's up with you? No.
Exactly.
No.
And what are you having?
I am drinking a beer by the brewery Yellowhammer Brewing, which is in Huntsville, Alabama.
I've been wanting to try stuff by them recently.
This beer, and actually David Evans, the Wedge, has been to this brewery and played there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Maybe we can go down with him and check it out.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Anyhow, this beer is called the Frankenhammer, or as the Germans would say, die Frankenhammer. Yeah. And this beer is a Belgian-style dark ale aged on toasted cherry wood. So it sounds kind of
That'll
interesting.
probably be quite flavorful.
Yes, and I've actually had this for almost a year, and I've been.
Oh yeah, because it says 2015 on the bottle.
It says so maybe almost 2 years, and I've had it stored in my closet in a dark
a year
temperature,
and a half.
and it says store cool below 50 degrees. I probably had it stored a little warmer than that, but it's been cool in my
Should
closet.
be all right though.
So what do you say we crack these, pour them, and see what we think?
Yeah, let's do that.
What say you?
I say yes.
That was my Lord of the Rings reference for the week.
For the week.
Yeah. What say you?
Do you have one every week?
No, just this week.
Okay.
Right.
Or you mean that was for the entire week?
Yeah,
That's
for
the
this
only-
whole week, that's the only reference I'm going to do.
To Lord of the Rings.
So, yeah, intentionally. We'll see.
Ooh, that smells good.
Mine looks fairly bubbly, very heady, so I might need to pour this carefully.
Very slowly. So as not to
Overflow.
Rustle up the grub.
And I was incorrect. It's not as bubbly as I anticipated.
It's also not as dark as I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's pretty dark, and it's kind of hard to tell in this frosted glass.
That's true, yeah. I mean, whenever it was pouring out, though, it's not like as dark as a stout.
Yeah. But it is a Belgian.
Mine is essentially the color I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like a very coppery orange.
What you'd expect from a double IPA.
Yeah.
All right, let's give these a try and see what we think. Let's say the magic words and cheers.
Sounds good.
Shibbity-beep-a-dow! Oh my. This is much more funky than I thought.
Really? Bigger than you thought it would be?
Yeah, it's got this real light mouthfeel, like mouth feel. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a tartness to it. I don't know. Maybe they put
Cherry wood.
cherry
maybe.
juice instead of cherry wood.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
I know,
they
I'm
might have
kidding.
used a little bit of cherry flavoring.
Yeah, but it's.
I mean, obviously cherry wood doesn't taste like cherries.
I'm gonna have to let this warm up a little bit and see what I think about the flavors because I'm not too keen on it right now. But maybe it'll get better as it warms up a little bit.
I'm gonna have to do the same with this one. So far, the hops are, I'm trying to look for the right word because they're not like piney and they're not, they're almost more malty than hoppy.
Well, maybe it's the malts.
Yeah, it's like,
It's just a standard like not.
or you know how you can, it tastes like hop smell.
Yes.
That's what this tastes like.
Yeah. If
It's
like,
good.
like hot pellets.
Yeah, like hot pellets.
Yeah. So it's not the flavor you kind of want out of a hop, but it's not.
But it's not
Bad.
bad though, because I enjoy the smell and I enjoy the taste.
Let's do a little switcheroo and see what we think.
Okay.
For those of you who are listening and can't see, we just passed off beers.
And for those of you who don't know what the term switcheroo means, we just passed off beers.
It's like when a kangaroo like trades you something, you know? Like,
It's like
crikey, mate, let's switcheroo. Pooh!
the talking kangaroo.
What are they? What's the nickname for kangaroos?
The small ones are called joeys.
Joey's. Crikey, watch out for that Joey. He's got a mean right hook. Yeah, I just tasted your beer and I kind of see what you
get
mean.
what I'm saying?
It's not my favorite hop flavor, but it's not bad.
This is pretty good.
It's good, but do you see that tartness that I was?
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
wasn't
nice.
I wasn't anticipating because I figured since it's aged on cherry wood, it would
Well,
have more of a woody flavor.
That also could be because it's been aging in your closet for like 2 years.
Yeah. Anyway,
Possible.
we'll keep you posted on the beers as they warm up. And for those of you who know about our podcast, like I just did, we keep
There's
a
a-
tally of belches.
Yeah, there's a burp tally that we do every.
So whoever has the most
week.
burps each episode wins a prize. And in the past, we've had fun prizes such as someone has to buy the other Taco Bell, someone has to buy the other beer, someone like we've had a dollar bill at stake, and even a little candy bar.
Yeah.
But this week we put it a little bit of a higher prize, I think.
You know what? I think it is too.
This week, the winner with the most belches receives the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess comic book.
From Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, and it is kind of like a Japanese comic book where you have to read it backwards.
Yeah.
Which
And it looks like it's
odd.
black and white.
It is all black and white.
Minda is in it, it looks like.
Midna
Midna.
and
From
Link.
Twilight Princess. Link actually talks,
Yeah, that's kind of weird because Link's
is
not supposed to
strange.
talk. If you guys know anything about Zelda, he doesn't really talk.
but it looks kind of cool though.
Yeah, so the winner gets that. Oh, so
Tie it up.
We each have one belch so far, but let's keep it up. We'll keep our tally and we'll let you know who wins at the end.
Also, it is time to check in this beer on our favorite beer app,
Which
ever.
is Untapped.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, it's a social drinking app, which means every time you have a beer, you can check it in with
With your rating.
your rating. You can give a
Describe it a little
description,
bit.
a picture. You can say where you're having it, and your friends will be able to see what it is, and they'll be able to comment on it. They'll be able to toast it. All kind of fun things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great app. Great for craft beer lovers around the world.
It's a super, super great app.
Yeah, so they're not paying us to say this. We just really like the app.
Nope, they're not sponsors,
Check it out.
but they are awesome.
Anyways, let's move on to the second portion of American Brews and Tunes, which is not the brews, it's the tunes.
It's the tunes, everybody!
Shibbida-beepa tunes.
Abita Brewing Tunes. Ha!
All right, do you want to go first this week? I believe I've gone first more recently than you.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, so what have you been listening to this past
Well,
2
last
weeks?
week you recommended me the album Punk In Drublic by the band Nofx, which I have been growing to like recently since you've been starting to show me more of their stuff as well.
And they have a significant back catalog.
Yes. When did they form?
Oh, I believe it was like 83.
83? Okay.
Yeah, it was early 80s. I think it was
Early
83.
80s.
82 or 83.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're getting up there in age, but they're still kicking.
Yeah, they are. And we actually met them once, kind of.
Yeah, in Nashville. You mean
At
Becca.
a book signing.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean, we met them.
Yeah, we said, hello,
Yeah.
your book's good. Your book's
was-
interesting looking.
It was funny because there was a Jesse who went before me, and then Fat Mike was like, "Another Jesse? What the heck?" He was like, "I'm gonna spell your name the girl way."
He did that for me,
And
too.
so he did.
He spelled my name Steph.
That's
S-T-E-P-H.
Yeah, it
I got a fist bump from Fat Mike.
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
He-
so that was
He
kind
made
of
fun
cool.
of my Joey Cape shirt.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the album's Punk In Drublic. The band's
Yeah.
Nofx. This is... I can give just a...
Yeah, go for it.
A one-sentence background on this album.
Yeah.
NoFX is a popular skate punk band. They're very influential into most of the punk rock, post-hardcore, any type of rock genre. Probably had some influence from NoFX.
Yeah.
This is their defining album. This gave them the sound that they're known for, and I think a lot of people would point back to this album as being one of the bigger influences on their musical careers.
Okay.
So
that's probably why you recommend
not my
it.
favorite album, but it's a big one for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And
why
it's a
you
great album. I can't
recommended
say I really like this album. It's just not my favorite NoFX album.
And if you haven't noticed, they switched around the P and the DR in drunk and public. So it'd be drunk in public, but it's Punk In Drublic.
Classic. They're known for their humor. And
Yeah, some of the songs are really funny.
I guess language warning. If you're offended by language or anything suggestive, NoFX is probably not the band for you. They have a lot of satirical things, a lot of political things, and they're not afraid to use curses.
Yeah.
So if you're easily offended, don't listen or listen carefully. So for the previous weeks, we've talked about every single track in depth. We're trying to cut down on
time. Yeah, we
by
realized
by popular request. We've had some
literally
people tell us.
Literally.
Yeah.
My family
Yeah.
said sometimes it just gets too long. And so
That's
we
true.
thought
We're not going to have hour and a half episodes anymore. We're going to keep it to an hour or less.
And so shout out to my mom, I think it was my mom, for suggesting why not just talk about your 4 favorite songs.
yeah, so we'll talk about the recommendations, and we might briefly say like a word or two about the other songs.
about
but
the
we're-
other tracks.
We're only
going
to really touch upon the good ones. So that's took us 13 episodes to figure this out, but here we are. So let's go.
Here we are. We're still making it happen in basement floor studios or whatever the studio's called.
Bedside Manor Studios.
Bedside Manor Studios. That was close. Basement floor. So anyway,
Basement floor. We're on the second story.
I know. That was close. There's a floor in here.
I know,
And
but-
speaking of floors, the first track on this album is called Linoleum.
Oh, that's a floor.
And I just want to say outright that I give it 5 out of 5, and I also recommended it, and it definitely is the #1 track I would recommend from this album.
Well, by golly, I'm glad you said that because it's a fantastic sound.
Yeah, such a great album opener too.
It really is.
I mean, like you said before, it's like this is the sound. Like this song is kind of like the sound that NoFX is.
Yes, I would agree.
Essentially.
And I'd say that this is probably their most popular song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By probably a lot of people a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of musicians too.
Yeah. I mean, there might be obviously that's up for debate. It's pretty subjective,
Yeah.
but I'd say that this might be the popular one for
As far as
for most people.
somebody who likes NoFX, you ask them, "What's your favorite song?" They'll probably say, "Linoleum" or "The Decline" or something.
Bob.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It's a great song.
Anyway, this song is super fast, and a lot of their songs are super fast. So I'm not going to say that for all the ones I recommend. But the first line is so great. He says, "Possessions never meant anything to me. I'm not crazy, but that's not true. I've got a bed, and a named dog, and a dog named Bob, and a guitar, and a dog named Bob who pees on my floor. That's right, I've got a floor. So what? So what? So what? so much. Oh, it's just so good.
It is.
And so,
Does it go into a chorus?
no,
Does it?
no,
There's no chorus in the song?
no chorus. What a strange thing for a punk song to
I
not
know,
have a
isn't
chorus.
it? What a strange thing for a
Normal any song.
Yeah, there's
to not have a
no
chorus.
chorus. I mean, you could argue there's a hook, maybe like a melodic hook, but there's no chorus.
It's the hook. I mean, like even the guitar part in the beginning, the da 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 da.
Yeah.
But so I kind of, from what I can tell, this song is kind of about like scraping by to like make ends meet, which like is kind of like what a lot of their songs are about. And he's like he's spending a lot of nights getting to know linoleum,
Yeah.
sleeping on the floor and like what I don't know. That's just kind of what it seems like to me.
LTL. Love that linoleum.
Yeah, LTL. You know what we always say, LTL.
Little.
That's what we always say. So, old.
Like we could try to put that on
A T-shirt.
a T-shirt or Urban Dictionary or both.
Old. Love that linoleum.
Little. All right, move. It wasn't that funny.
No, I started drinking and then laughing at the same time.
All right, let's move on to the next song.
Oh man.
And again, we'll only briefly touch on the songs that aren't recommended.
Track number 2 is called "Leave It Alone,"
Leave it alone.
and you might remember this. Never mind. I was gonna say you might remember this song from the Broken Bells album, but
I do.
the title anyway.
Yeah, because I was disappointed every time I listened to that song because it wasn't the NoFX song.
Yeah. The only thing I want to say about this song, I gave it 4 out of 5. I love the da na 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 na. Yeah, I just love that part. Whenever
It's catchy,
I get
isn't it?
Yeah, to the chorus.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like I just makes me want to snap my fingers and smile whenever I hear that.
It's like elevator, almost like what you hear on an elevator.
Yeah.
But awesome.
But essentially that song is about pretending everything's fine and not trying to change anything. They're like, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Like, I know it's a problem, but just we won't try to fix it.
Yeah.
Great song, 4 out of 5. Track 3 is called Dig. It's fast.
As most of their songs are.
There's also an awesome bridge in it where it like slows down, like way down.
Yeah.
And then speeds back up. Good song. Give it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Track 4 is called The Cause. And the chorus is, "We're just doing this for the cause." And that's essentially all you really need to know.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like a satirical song about like a lot of people who say like, "Yeah, we're doing this for the cause."
The greater good.
And then,
the greater good.
Yeah, and then one of
the
the lines,
greater good.
one of the lines that he says is, "Open your eyes, don't trust these lies." So like we're not like people usually aren't just doing it for the cause; they have like selfish motives.
Yeah.
Normally, I guess.
Normally.
Not all the time. But I give that 4 out of 5. The next track number 5, I recommended. It's called "Don't Call Me White."
Don't call me white. Don't call me white.
Such a great beginning. It just starts with him screaming, "Don't call me white. Don't call me white." And then, then the super fast
drums in.
It's crazy. Smelly, right?
Yeah, Smelly plays the drums.
Yeah. Oh,
He's a fast drummer. I don't know how he gets that kick pedal going, but he does.
Yeah,
and when that kick pedal gets it going, you can't stop it. You can't stop the kick pedal when it starts going.
You can't stop it. The kick pedal.
Smelly kick pedal.
The smelly kick pedal.
Smelly's the name of the drummer. Well, it's not his real name. His name's Eric, I think. But
Eric or something.
They call him Smelly.
There are 2 Erics, right? Eric Melvin and Eric Smelly.
So there's Melvin and Smelly.
Melvin and Smelly, and then El Jefe and Fat Mike. And El Jefe was with them on this album, right?
Correct.
Because they're trumpets.
Yes.
But anyway, "Don't Call Me White." It's it's kind of a really deep song, I think. Anyway, I gave it 5 out of 5, and I recommended it. But it's essentially about like people judging you based on things that you can't change.
Which
so like
almost like last few weeks ago when I had you listen to Minor Threat, and they had the "Guilty of Being White."
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
exactly.
Theme-wise.
Yeah. So like some of the lyrics are like I didn't choose to be like I was born into this. I was circumcised and then like told what to do or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then he like talks about how like I don't know, like people have like malice and spite towards certain people for no reason, like essentially simply based on skin color. And so that's why he says, "Don't call me white."
Yeah.
And then he like one of the I think one of the lines was he's like base, where he essentially is saying base like what you think about me on my actions rather than things I can't change about myself.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fairly decent like thing for everybody to realize and think about.
I agree.
Is that like there are a lot of things that people can't change. You know, a situation they're born into,
Where
their skin color,
yeah,
or whatever else.
Don't judge someone on
So
that.
don't judge someone solely based on that.
Exactly.
Got another sip here, but on to track number 6. This song is really funny.
It's a joke song.
It is a
by
joke
far
song.
and large. It's a slow song. El Jefe
Slow
sings
song.
it.
El Jefe sings it. It's called "My Heart Is Yearning," and it's I won't go into much of the lyrics because they're
Probably for the best.
they're interesting. But he plays trumpet on this song. It's awesome.
My heart is
Yeah, and he sings like in a really weird voice. He's like, "Oh, my heart is yearning." Because it's like,
It's a joke.
Yeah.
The whole song's a joke.
but it is kind of like a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
From like the rest of the super fast stuff. I gave it 3 out of 5.
It's goofy. It's funny.
Yeah. On to track number 7,
I could see that being a recommendation for you. I love
called "Perfect Government."
Why did the cat get so fat?
And onto that, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 because it was very close to being a recommendation.
Ooh,
like
see,
very, very close.
I could see that being a
But
recommendation.
I chose 4, and so I didn't want to choose 5.
Fair enough.
But this song is a super slow start.
It's a cover also. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, really?
I don't remember who did the original, but this is a cover.
Did not know that. Very slow start. Very big entrance.
Yeah.
And then slow again. And then it stays fast and big for the rest of the song. Yeah, and the main line is, "How did the cat get so fat?" And it's essentially an anti-government song.
Yeah. The
Pretty
cat
much.
is the government.
Yeah. But then the bridge, and then in the bridge he says, "And I wonder," and there's like a nice pause. And he says, "How can they sleep at night? How can they sleep at night? And how did the cat get so fat?" Back into that. Really catchy song. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 because I almost recommended it.
I think it's a cover. I could be wrong.
I have no idea.
Who knows?
But on to track number 8, which is called "The Brews."
Ooh.
I really like this song.
They're not
but
talking about beers.
No, they're not.
They're talking about Hebrews.
Yeah, the Brews.
Two of the band members are Jewish, actually.
Melvin and
And Fat Mike.
Fat Mike, yeah.
And so they sing about being Jewish.
Yeah, and I mean, that's essentially what this song's about.
They use a lot of like really Jewish terms like Hasidic,
And,
Manischewitz,
yeah, Manischewitz.
Goyim.
and then at the end of the song, he's like, "Hey, you schmucks."
Let's hear it one more time for Herschel.
Yeah. And he has like the Jewish accent or
And that
whatever.
was El Jefe again doing the
Yeah.
goofy voice. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the song a lot.
It's a really great song.
Yeah,
It's like a song about Jewish guys hitting the town and partying, pretty much.
but they got to be back for Saturday morning.
We're the Brews, sporting anti-swastika tattoos. Oi, oi!
We're the boys, the Orthodox Hasidic OG
Yours.
boys.
It's really catchy. It's
a funny song too. Yeah.
I give it 4 to 5. On to track 9, it's called "The Quasitwersh." I believe I'm saying that right.
I've
Who
never
knows?
known how to say this song. It's
but-
basically just an intro for the next song.
Yeah, it's mostly an instrumental intro for the song "Dying Degree."
It rocks. I love this song.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's good.
And I unfortunately don't like the next song as much. I wish it would have been something else.
Yeah, but the chorus in the next song does get stuck in my head.
Dying Degree.
Dying degree,
Yeah.
graying at me. That gets stuck in my head.
Would you give rating wise to both of those songs?
3 out of 5 for track 9 and 3.5 out of 5 for track 10 because I liked it better.
Fair enough.
But essentially, "Dying Degree" is a song about questioning life and like its purpose. Essentially,
It's important.
track 11 is called "Fleas." I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
Actually, I like this one.
I like it too. But all these songs were less catchy than the other
Than
songs
the
that I
ones
really
you wanna-
liked. Yeah. Or less good.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, but you said
They're still good though.
What rating did you give Fleas?
3.5 out of 5.
Fair enough.
Starts out with some bass chords, and essentially the theme is follow what I say, not what I've done.
Yeah.
And after reading their book, like I could
I can definitely see that.
See why they would suggest that.
Learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. Laurie Myers lived under the...
Yep. Track 12.
That song's fast and really catchy.
Track 12 is called Laurie Myers. I gave it 5 out of 5, and I also recommended it.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but it's a very good song. So
because I think it brings up a lot of interesting questions,
Agreed.
about life in general.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the whole song is kind of a rhetorical question, and it also has a really awesome girl singer on it.
I forgot the
Kim Shattuck.
Whoever that is.
She was in the Muffs.
I don't know.
She was in She was in a bunch of bands.
Like other chick-fronted punk rock bands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So essentially, he has this character who has a friend named Laurie Myers when they were growing up, and like their parents were best friends, and so they were, they always hung out, and essentially he like knows a lot about her, so much so that he can recognize like a birthmark. Okay, and then he like sees a flash on a TV or like sees her in a magazine, like a dirty, not the best magazine, and he's like, I recognize that, and he's like, I think I can probably save her from that lifestyle. But then it switches over to Kim Shattuck, I believe is how you say her name, singing, and
as
she's
Laurie?
as Laurie, and she's essentially like what, like I took control of my own life and I'm making my own decisions, and I'm making $50K a year, and I'm like saying where it's going. What's the problem with that? Yeah, and so like it brings up this rhetorical question. I don't know if rhetorical is the right word. Maybe, but this question about, like, you see someone else who's in trouble, but they're okay with the fact, or what you believe is in trouble. But they don't see it that way. They don't see it as them being in trouble. They see it as good for them.
Then again, like when you say you got a buddy who's like got a heroin problem and they don't see it as a problem.
Right. I mean, this is a little bit different.
But that's different.
This is a little bit different.
Because I suppose that situation she would be in, some people may call victimless crimes.
Yeah.
But also, drug addiction could be a victimless crime.
No. I mean, it depends on if you're alone or if you have family.
If you're just using drugs, it's victimless. But if you start stealing stuff to start paying for your drugs,
exactly.
Then
It's
hard to compare. We're regressing too much into uncharted territory for Brews and Tunes.
Essentially, this song leaves it open-ended.
Yeah.
Like, it just ends with her saying something like I don't see, it doesn't, like, I was fine until you tried to save me, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she says to end it. Oh, burp number 6.
6 for me.
But yeah, it's a very good song. I really like it. It's super catchy too, and yeah,
it's a good song,
and it's pretty kind of a deep subject too.
Not gonna lie though, the next song I like more, even though it's not a deep subject at all.
Yeah, and so the next couple songs are not deep at all. So we're gonna bust through them real quick. Track 13 is called "Jeff Wears Birkenstocks."
And Birkenstocks are like those fancy weird sandals,
right? Yeah, and
it's supposed to be comfortable and expensive.
Yeah, and it's oh gosh,
that was a double burp you just had. And Jeff don't wear regular shoes.
Yeah, it's a song about how Jeff wears Birkenstocks.
Jeff don't wear regular shoes. It's fast and it's catchy and it's fun.
Yeah,
but it's not deep.
That's about it. I gave it 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Next song.
Track 14 is called "Punk Guy."
Oh, I like that song.
Super fast, and it's essentially about a guy who's so punk that at the end of towards the end of the song, El Jefe says,
"He's even more punk than me."
He's even more punk than me. So it's just about this guy.
But they reference some other like crazy hardcore punk guys like G.G. Allen even.
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy young and G.G. something.
He also says he's straight out from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
But if you're ever at all curious about like some crazy hardcore punk guys, G.G. Allen is in a league of his own. The dude had a messed up life, and I can't remember. He might have just been like the lead singer of the G.G. Allen band or something like that. But he's we won't talk about him on here. But if you're ever at all curious about some messed up life of a crazy punk rock hardcore singer, G.G. Allen, look into it. Just very interesting life.
Really,
yeah, messed up and very He had a messed up childhood, messed up life. It was a crazy story.
Yeah.
But enough about that.
Anyway, the next song is called Happy Guy. It's track number 15.
Funny that comes right after Punk Guy.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 to 5. And essentially this song is about, I don't know if it's a guy who they knew, but essentially he found religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty obvious that Nofx are very anti-religion. Or by this song, maybe not anti-religion, but
they're just apathetic towards it and they don't believe it.
Yeah. Because in this song, essentially, it talks about a guy who found happiness, like true happiness, through religion.
Exactly.
And then they were like, just leave him alone. Like, that's working for him.
They were saying, leave him alone. Just kidding.
Anyway,
Would you rate that song? Did you say
4 to 5.
Okay.
Track number 16, Rico, I gave 5 out of 5. And
this is one I'd recommend too.
Yeah.
Rico,
it's so good.
try to understand.
Yeah. So the first, I'll go quickly here, but it's slow the first half of the song, and
Almost
it's talking
like
about
reggae-ish, right?
Yeah, like reggae-ish. And there's an awesome like clean guitar solo. It's so good. But essentially, it's talking about this guy Rico, I guess, at an end of a party, and like the house is a wreck, and like there's nothing else to do but just leave and like be done. And then the second half of the song is not slow; it's fast, and essentially the party is a parallel to how he feels about government.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, like, they
I might have to
come
look
in...
into the lyrics more to see the government thing, because I never really paid attention to the
Oh,
lyrics.
they talk about the government so much in the second
Makes
half.
sense.
He says, Mr. President! The first line is, in the fast part, is Mr. President.
I probably heard it.
But anyway, last track...
And you recommended Rico 5
I
out
did
of 5.
recommend, yeah.
Good deal.
For the fourth song. Yeah, 5 out of 5, you're right. But track number 17 is 4 out of 5. It's called Scavenger Type. And it's essentially about this guy, Bill, who like plays in bars, and he's trying to gather up enough change to buy a steam anchor pint.
Anchor Steam?
Anchor Steam pint, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, because they're from San Francisco. It's a brewery.
Yeah, and it's like just a song about a guy trying to survive in California, pretty much. But it
I was
ends...
never a huge fan of the song. It's good, but
I like it.
It wasn't my favorite.
It ends really abruptly when the last line is, no one did see him die. And then just it cuts out.
Kind of a sad thought, isn't it?
Yeah. But then at the end of that song, though,
there's
like some bonus content
of El Jefe talking and singing.
Yeah, like El Jefe's like doing other voices.
Yep. El Jefe is an impressionist.
Impersonator.
El Jefe is an impressionist of sorts.
There you go.
So they put that to use there.
Yeah.
So enough about Jesse's album, which was Punk In Drublic by Nofx.
Yeah. If you want to look more into it, check it out.
Yeah, and
It's a great album.
Again, we'll post the link on our website, which is brewsandtunespodcast.com. Make sure to check it out. Go there and click on the episodes button, and you can click on the episode that we're recording right now, which is episode 13.
And again, if you do not like curses,
Don't listen to that album.
don't listen to that album.
If you don't like curses, the album that Jesse recommended for me is okay for you.
Yeah, a
which
little
is
bit better.
the album Policy by Will Butler.
And if you know who Will Butler is, then you know Arcade Fire.
Yes. Will Butler is the keyboard player / multi-instrumentalist from Arcade Fire. And he is the younger brother of Arcade Fire's lead singer, Win Butler.
Yeah, Win Butler.
I'm not really sure what Win is short for. Winifred?
Winifred.
That's a girl's name.
I just thought of Arthur.
Whitney.
Dora Winifred Reed.
I don't know.
Do you remember Arthur?
Yes, I do.
That was
DW?
her middle name was Winifred.
That's so weird. But Will Butler, after, I think this was
like 2013 or something like that.
I think it was around the Reflector album, which is by Arcade Fire. I think in between a touring schedule, he came in and recorded these songs that he'd written. And I'm not sure if he's written for Arcade Fire, but surely he's written because he wrote the score for the movie Her.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
He wrote the score for Her, and he got a Grammy for it.
I love that movie.
I've never seen it. I know there's some awkward scenes, but it's supposed to be a fantastic
very awkward,
movie.
but very good.
With Joaquin Phoenix with a mustache and a robot.
A very good commentary on our current society.
Like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, he wrote this album and recorded it.
Rating wise, that's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I'll have to check out the movie and the soundtrack now.
That's really cool.
Jesse gave a 5-star rating.
For what?
Gave for your songs.
Oh, your rating for
I
your
gave
individual
mine
song.
a 5 donut rating.
Oh, because what
today's
day is
National
it?
Donut Day.
It's National Donut Day.
All right, so jumping into this album.
Or depending on how you spell it, Dognut Day.
Well, I say donut, D-O-N-U-T. Oh, nice burp. But some people do the D-O-U-G-H, but that's too much spelling. Let's be honest.
Too many letters. Shorten it up.
Nofx album was 17 songs long, right?
Yeah.
Wow, burp crazy over here. The Will Butler album is 8 songs long.
Yeah. The deluxe version is like 13.
Yeah, but I didn't listen to that.
Yeah, I told you to listen to the regular one.
The first song is called Take My Side, which I gave 3 3/4 donuts. There's a healthy bite out of that donut.
How long did it take you to draw these donuts?
Longer than it was worth, but it's worth it.
So funny.
This song
Love
kind of sets the tone for the record. It's not like Arcade Fire. And if you actually look up anything about the album, he's going for like an Americana rock album.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually, I don't know if you listen to Nirvana. You'd have to listen to Nirvana a lot to pick up on this. But on one of their B-sides albums, I can't remember what it's called, but one of those B-sides albums, there's a song called Ain't It a Shame that Nirvana plays, and I swear that guitar lick and drums is almost exactly
Really?
the same as this. And that's what I think of every time.
Really?
But it's not my favorite song. I like it a lot, and it sets the tone for the album really well.
Take my side. Are you gonna be on my side or their side?
It's good, but I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Because I'm only
Interesting.
recommending, it's only an 8-song long album, so I'm only going to recommend 3.
Okay.
The next song, number 2, is Anna. And I do recommend this song.
It's a great song.
I gave it 4 donuts and some crumbs.
And some crumbs. Not 5 donuts?
Not 5. And not even 4 1/4.
And some crumbs.
Some crumbs. It's above 4. There are some literal crumbs next to that 4th donut.
It's like people are placing the donuts on the rating scale, and then they just happen to like their hands slipped on the last donut.
It scraped a little, yeah.
And just kind of like they flicked their fingers like this.
Flick, flick, flick. Anyways, I literally hated this song as soon as I heard it.
I love this
Quite
song.
literally, as soon as I heard it, I was like, this is stupid. This is what I thought. This is pretentious, weird, and super synthy. And like the melody's dumb, and I don't like this song. I did not like it, and I was like, this is stupid indie music. and then after listening to this for about half a week, literally, I listened to this for half a week, and I found myself singing it, like, at times I wasn't listening to it,
Yeah.
and I was like, crap, I like this song. The main hook that he does is this one line, it's like, and it comes in even in the chorus when he says words, gotta make money, my money, money, my money, money, my money, my money,
money. Yeah.
And so I recommended it, so it's in my top 3. I did listen to an interview that this guy had with Will Butler on a podcast called...
You haven't told me about this yet,
Yes,
so I'm excited about
this.
this.
Podcast is called Song Exploder. I'd never heard of it, and then Becca told me about it.
Nice.
It's where this one guy interviews members of a band. They're usually really popular bands.
Like about what a song means
About
normally?
a single song. Like they had a Dropkick Murphys one too. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they kind of outline one song, the engineering and the lyrical content, and so he talked about this song, Will Butler. And I guess he got the Arcade Fire drummer. He booked him for like a week of recording, and he had him for they recorded all the songs he wanted for the album. And he had one day left. He's like, "What should we do? I got a couple voice memos on my phone. Maybe we can turn one of these into a song."
Yeah.
And it was a song he wrote for his son, which I can't remember the name of his son.
Okay, well, I don't know either.
But he did that, and it ended up turning into Anna.
Huh.
He just told him to record the drums for a long time, and then they built a song around that kind of with that bum ba bum bum. But it's super catchy. They even come with some horn parts. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The horn players. I thought that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a super infectious song. I recommend it.
It's a great song.
It's if you don't like it at first, keep listening because I hated it. I was irate at listening to the song again.
I think I know what you mean because after hearing the first song,
like rock and roll song.
yeah, and then like this song comes up.
It's
whenever
like
I
Indian
first listened
weird.
to this album, I was like, "What?
Exactly.
This is weird."
It's a big turn from that last
Yeah,
one.
yeah. But it's so good though. I love that song.
So on to the next song, which is another change of pace. It's called "Finish What I Started." I gave this 3 3/4 donuts.
Any crumbs in there?
No crumbs.
Okay. I like this song a lot.
It's much slower and kind of simple sounding. There's a
I
lot
just-
more
I-
space, I think.
I just love the message of this song.
Yeah, it's a good message. But like
It's piano
and vocal driven. That's what I wrote.
Someone
Like literally piano
please
vocal driven.
Finish what I started.
But it's
I did my best, but my best was half-hearted.
I ate some beans and then
I
I farted. He doesn't say that. I just wrote that right now.
He doesn't.
But I'm not the hugest fan of the song, but I like it. I like how the verses are minor.
Oh yeah, and then it goes, and I know what I want.
And it's a major chorus. So you got that big contrast between verse and chorus. But you can tell the difference between
Yeah.
verse and chorus just
Yeah.
based on major and minor. And it's nice.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend it, so let's move on. Song number 4 is called Son of God. And I gave this song 4 1/2 donuts.
Wow, I figured you would like
Which
this
I
song.
recommended this song. It's
Okay.
acoustic and vocal driven. It
Very
is
good.
much faster, and it's a super catchy song.
Yeah.
I'd even go as far as say dancey. It's kind of got that almost like that folk. I don't want to say hipster folk, but like you know what I mean.
It's not hipster at
Like
all.
it's but you know what I mean. Like that, not like Mumford and Sons. Like
I mean,
folk.
I know the generalization that you're making.
Let's go like
yeah.
indie folk. How about that?
Okay.
So it's got like this indie folk feel. Lyrically, I have a hard time telling whether he's saying like he believes in God and he's trying, or he doesn't believe in God, so he's not gonna try because the proof isn't there.
It's definitely.
Is it ambiguous on purpose?
I think it's definitely an anti-religion song.
Because
like,
like I wrote here, I'm leaning towards no, he doesn't believe in it because,
so.
like he says, if the Son of God would tell me what to do, and then ... then I swear I'd be good.
Yeah.
Like if he came down and told me
And
himself.
The catchiest part is, whoa, whoa, if the Son of God would come down and tell me my face now, and whoa, whoa, then I'd be good, I'd be good, I swear I would.
be good.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But it's so
but, yeah.
I don't think he's saying like that he's religious, but it's kind of ambiguous at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
So maybe he does, but I'm leaning towards no.
he's acknowledging that, like,
But
he's acknowledging
yeah, he's acknowledging it.
God.
But obviously, for you to like say that up there and like write it in a song, and you know that people are going to be listening, that takes a lot of honesty to do that. So
Yeah.
I respect that. The song's super catchy. That's why I recommend it.
Nice.
On to
also
song
really like that
number 5, which for all you non-German speaking people out there, song number 5.
Song number 5.
I gave the song 3.5 donuts out of 5, and it's called Something's Coming. It's a good song, but it's
a little weird, though.
It's odd. It's definitely dancey.
Something's coming, but there isn't the
Synthy.
end. But if it's not the end, da-da-da-da-da.
It's very synthy, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's odd. They do some weird vocal things going on here. Like there's like all these weird harmonies that almost sound digital. I think not digital, but like processed. Like
Yeah.
just odd. I go back and forth between liking this song and disliking it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I like it.
I like it.
It's a change of pace.
I like it, but it's whenever I'm listening to this album, it's like,
Yeah, it's a weird song.
I like it though.
I did read that they came and not re-recorded, but recorded it after they did everything else. This was a later song that they recorded.
Really.
But it's okay. On to the next song, though, which I think is the best song on the album. I gave it 5 donuts out of 5 donuts.
Oh man.
The song's called What I Want.
Yeah, good song.
What I Want.
Very good song.
It's a rock song. Straightforward rock. It's like bass, drums, guitar, vocals. There's nothing fancy. It's fast compared to some of the other songs. You don't have like as much synth stuff going on. I'm sure production-wise there's something going on synth-wise.
Oh, I'm sure,
Just
yeah.
layering, but it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you got a nice space. And even the chorus is nice, but the verses is my favorite part in this song because it's just he talks about so much like absurd stuff.
Yeah.
And I think overall
that's the point.
Yeah, like I'm saying, overall I think the message is he'll do all these absurd things for a girl
Yeah.
just for her to stick around and hold his hand and be with him.
Yeah, essentially.
Like I'm gonna read a couple lines because I think they're
So funny.
They're worth reading.
Yeah, they're funny.
The very first line of the song, he says, "Tell me what you want, babe, and I'll get it, though it might take 3 to 5 business days."
I know, but
So it's like, tell me
like,
anything. I'll find it. Even if it's something I need to order online, I'll order, but it might take a couple days to get here, but I'll get it for you.
And the one note is the way he sings this song is very funny too.
Yeah, it's kind of like
He's like-
sporadic and urgent
He's
almost.
like, though it might take 3 to 5 business days.
Like kind of like nervous and sporadic,
Yeah.
urgent.
Yeah.
It's funny sounding. But my favorite line is the first verse. of this, or the first line of the second verse, where he says, "If you come and take my hand, I will buy you a pony. We can cook it for supper. I know this great recipe for pony macaroni."
I know this great recipe for pony macaroni.
I know this great recipe for pony macaroni. It's so funny. It's absurd and just
But yeah,
off the wall.
But yeah, like, that's the point. Like even if you like suggest these really crazy things that don't actually exist, like I'll do them for you.
And in the chorus, he says like, "I'll tell you if it's okay." So it's just kind of like reassuring, like it'll be okay. I'll do what you want, and I'll go the extra effort no matter what it is to make you happy.
Yeah, and that's what I want.
Yeah. So this is my favorite song on the album. Another one. It's the third one I recommend.
It's very good.
Song number 7 is called "Sing to Me," and this is another big change of pace, which almost every other song is a big change of pace, which goes a lot for his sequencing for the track listing.
It's also a lot like Arcade Fire.
Wow, that should be a double burp for me. It was so long.
Yeah, right. Come on.
Anyway, "Sing to Me" is
Single burps only.
slow.
Yep. I love this song though. Did you like it?
I liked it. I didn't love it. I gave it 4 stars because I liked it a lot.
You
but
mean
I didn't
4
love
donuts?
It. Yes, 4 donuts. I don't know why I said stars.
Hey, that's a pretty good rating for you.
Oh yeah. It's got piano, vocals, and this organ that kind of comes back in.
What do you think this song's about? Because I love this song.
I don't know. My main thing was more musically than lyrically for this song.
Okay.
Throughout the verses and choruses, there was chord progressions that I expected to happen that didn't kind of come to fruition, which left me frustrated yet kind of intrigued at the same time. If that makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the song a lot, but it's
what about just the first part where he says "sing to me" and then the chord changes is "sing to." No, it doesn't do that. He says "sing to me." Sing to me.
Okay.
He says the same first note. I thought maybe you'd notice that.
I didn't pick up on that, I guess.
But the reason I really like this song is that he's like talking about like being in a really tough place. Mm-hmm. You know, and he's saying,
"'Cause I'm tired,
but I don't want to talk no more."
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm angry, but I don't. One of the lines is, "'Cause I'm angry, but I've been very wrong before."
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. And then, but like, so to me, this song, the reason I really like this song is because
pretty introspective.
It's like, yeah, it's a really introspective song, but I feel like he's essentially like asking someone to sing to him, like to comfort him in this time of distress that he's going through, you know?
Agreed.
Like as he progresses through whatever,
Yeah.
he's like saying, "Sing to me," because that comforts me.
Exactly.
Because I love that.
But it's a good song. It's a nice change of pace, like I said.
Yeah.
I gave it 4 out of 5 donuts. On to song number 8, which I gave...
Are they sprinkled donuts?
Uh,
Or just glazed? Or
well-
cake? You know what? Yeah, what are they? Cake donuts?
since it's National Donut Day,
Yeast
I
donuts?
did go to Dunkin' Donuts today, and I had a strawberry frosted donut. Oh, easy there. Don't choke. Don't choke.
Down the wrong tube.
Obviously, when I said something about strawberry frosted donuts, Jesse
got all
had
excited.
a excited, weird reaction and started coughing.
Man.
But these are strawberry frosted donuts from Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
So
Nice.
there you go. On to song number 8, which is the last track of the album. It's called Witness.
Witness.
This was my lowest rated song, believe it or not.
Really?
Believe it or not, I gave it 3 out of 5 donuts.
Wow, that's very interesting because I feel like it's super catchy and awesome and fast at the end.
Literally, it's
Witness.
fast and happy and catchy. I wrote that. But I think it's kind of cheesy sounding.
Maybe that's the point.
Like it's a fun and catchy song. I like it, but I almost feel like it doesn't belong on this album, based on every other song that happened so far. And granted, this song is only the album's only 8 songs long, but this song,
And like you said earlier, it's just like a collection of songs that he's written before.
yeah. But I think he should have chosen. I haven't heard the 13 track version, but I'm sure one of those
That's
might
true.
have gone better.
Maybe one of them would have been better. Yeah.
I don't think this was right because I do like this song. I think it's catchy. I just don't think it's right on this album.
Interesting.
I think it's the weakest track and would go better somewhere else. Maybe if he had a follow-up album.
It's like playing in my head right now. Can I get a witness?
Oh,
Whoa! Can I get a witness? Yeah.
It's a good song. It's catchy, but I don't think it works with the rest of the album.
I think it kind of works with the song. Someone please finish what I started.
I don't think so.
Yep. Because he's saying, "Can I get a witness?" Like you got to finish this.
I'm not talking about lyrically. I'm talking about
I'm saying lyrically.
lyrically. Yes.
Lyrically,
Musically, it's too cheesy for me. And
I
cheesy's
kinda like that,
cheesy's
though.
not a bad thing. I
Yeah.
like this song and I think it's catchy and good and fun.
But you just thought
In the
something
context,
could have been
in the
better.
context of the
Okay.
album, I don't think so.
That makes sense.
Anyways,
That makes sense anyway. It I can definitely see why. How
you
would
could
say
hear why. But anyways, what do
you're
you
right.
what do
I
you
think
think
you're
about Will Butler's album versus an Arcade Fire album? Because
that.
you've only had me listen to one Arcade Fire album, and that's the only one I've listened to, which was Neon Bible.
Yeah.
It was early on in the Brews
It's
and Tunes career, right?
They're yes, that was
Yeah.
one of their first ones.
And that was one of our earlier podcasts.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. Comparatively, I think they are similar, but definitely not the same. Mostly in lyrical content, especially in Son of God. Like that one's very, very straightforward and like to the point about the fact that like religion, like, you know. Whereas Arcade Fire is very much more metaphorical and much more
Arcade Fire's hard to read into.
way more metaphorical and way more
Abstract.
abstract and obscure.
Vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of like the same message, but it's just presented in a different way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear that one album that I know you like, Suburbs.
The Suburbs, yeah. Well, I mean, eventually I'm going to recommend that for you, but we have to wait a while, so we don't recommend the same bands over and over again.
Makes sense. Because there's other Nofx albums I want to recommend for you, but
Yeah.
we can't do that quite yet. How about this? Maybe like for our 15th or 20th episode, we'll do a repeat band episode where we pick one band and repeat an album.
Or
like a
how
different album.
about every, like certain amount?
Let's do it for 15th because that's coming up in 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's true. Also, just a side note for you listeners who stayed through the whole episode, leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this idea. We are going to go to a record store and pick up a random record.
Oh,
Yes. Very,
yes.
very random record.
Let me outline this.
Okay.
Jesse's had this idea for a while.
Yeah.
And we just haven't done it yet. Where he and I go into a record store. There's a couple of fun record stores in Nashville. We like
Great
Grimey's
Escape,
or the Great
Grimey's.
Escape. McKay's is a good one.
McKay's.
I know
I
you haven't
haven't
been there
been
yet,
there.
but we'll go. And so we're just gonna find a fun-looking record for each other to listen to, and maybe holy burp, that was good.
Yeah.
So we'll find like a random record for each other to listen to, and maybe we'll recommend it.
Yeah, and so we'll
Maybe we'll make a podcast out of that.
Neither of us will know anything about this record, but we will rate and review that random record that the other chose for us.
Yeah.
So it could be some like weird 80s hair metal band or
It might be a country.
yeah, just
folk.
anything. You have no idea what it is.
It might even be hip hop. Who
So
knows?
that's going to be an installment coming soon, as
Yeah,
well as
let-
the repeat artist.
Yeah, so let us know what you think about that. We'd love to hear.
We would love for anybody to comment on this.
So, you have any tasting notes on your beverage?
You know what? Disappointingly, it stayed the same.
Let me take one more sip of mine. Mine's pretty warm by now, so I can get a. Well, it's not warm; it's warmer because it's still pretty chilly compared to air temp. But
Yeah.
let me get another sip just to see what I think.
Okay.
It's good.
You know what? Why don't we do the old switcheroo?
Let's do a switcheroo.
I'd like to try
Let me,
your
let me
beer again.
let me give my final description real quick. I think I like it better than I did at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
It's not as tart and sour as I thought it was earlier, but it's still up there. Don't get me wrong. And it's not as
Oh,
like
it's much warmer now.
yeah. I don't think I like those Belgian the Belgian yeast flavor's not coming in super
Yeah,
strong.
no.
For Belgian
no,
dark ale.
I wouldn't say it's a Belgian dark ale.
That's what they're saying. But also, I aged this for 2 years.
That's true. It's really mellowed out. All those like really pungent Belgian yeast flavors have gone away.
I mean, and I think that might have done this some good for it to have in there.
Yeah, it's really, really smooth.
Yeah.
Like the molasses is very present.
It's good. It's not my
good.
favorite, but I like it.
It's not bad
And
though.
it's got that sweet tartness to it, but I like it. So, what do you say we go back to the old cheers and give this one more? Let's sip it down
Sounds
into the
good.
bellies.
All right, let's say the magic word again.
Hey, and go ahead and say it along with us. If you guys are drinking a beer and listening, say it with us.
Yeah.
If you're driving onto work, don't say it.
Don't have a beer while you're driving, please.
If you're at work, don't have a beer. If you're babysitting some kids, don't have a beer.
Unless you're in the state of Tennessee, where it's illegal for the passenger to drink while driving.
Yeah, but if you're going to work, don't drink. If it's a nice weeknight and you're imbibing with us, then say the magic words. I'm sure if you've heard our episodes, you know the word before. We even said it at the beginning of this episode, so say it along with us. Shibbidi-beep-a-dow! And with that sip, I finished the beer.
Nice.
Delicious. Not my favorite, like I said, but pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of liked that one. Would you get it again?
No.
No? Okay.
I like it, but it's a one-time thing for me.
Okay.
What about you?
I would get it again because it's $5 for a bomber.
Okay.
And it tastes pretty good.
I can't argue the price point.
But, okay, here's the situation. If I'm at a liquor store and I see this beer, the Abita Shotgun Double IPA, and some other IPA, maybe by Stone, the Stone one is only a couple bucks more, I'll go for the Stone.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'd agree with you there.
Yeah. So it was good, but not good enough to choose over a better beer that costs more.
Agreed.
You know?
So
you know what? Why don't we
recommend some albums
for next week?
Yeah. Here, I'm going to give you...
in 2 weeks.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend an album by the band Rancid.
Oh,
Another legendary punk rock band.
Nice. I've been wanting to listen to some more Rancid. So.
I've got some favorite Rancid albums, but I'm going to do this along the lines of the Nofx album that I recommended for you. I'm going to go with the defining Rancid album, which is...
Okay.
And it's ... and Out Came the Wolves.
Okay. Nice.
And I know you know at least one or two songs
the
off
one
of there.
with,
it's got Maxwell Murder and...
Maxwell Murder, yeah, that's a great song.
And Time Bomb.
Oh, Time Bomb, I love that song too. But that's fine. I don't know much else.
Jesse knows 2 songs off that album and no more.
So I'm going to recommend an album by a very iconic band.
Which is?
It begins with the letter U.
U2?
U2. That's what's up.
I only know a few other bands that start with U, like Unwritten Law, but I don't think you know them.
No, I don't. But this album is by U2. It came out recently. Not the free one on iTunes, because I know you got that free and you already listened to it, so I won't recommend that for you.
Okay.
But it's their album No Line on the Horizon.
Uh-huh.
It came out, I think, in like 2014.
Okay, that's pretty
It's
recent.
so good.
And the one with the party boots?
Yes.
I know that song, but I don't know anything else.
It really showcases their ability to adapt with like changing their music.
Times,
yeah,
music?
changing with the times. There's like no effects.
Yeah.
And I mean, NoFX hasn't changed too much. Well, maybe they have. I haven't listened to much of their later stuff.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I recommend for you. No Line on the Horizon by U2.
And we've already finished our beers, so it's been a good...
This is the end of the burp tally, everybody.
So let's count it up. Jesse has...
I can already tell I lost by only 2. I lost by 2.
You had 19 belches?
Wait.
Oh, no. You had...
There's one more.
All right, I'll give you that one. You had 15 belches.
I lost by 1.
I had 16 belches.
Yeah.
Which means that me, Steven Johnston, is the new proud owner of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, the comic book from Free Comic Book Day. I'm glad I won that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read.
Dude, that was up for grabs. Either of us could have had that.
It's true because you've won in the past. I've won in the past. Who knows?
That's true. You won the chocolate bar. I won the free beer.
Yeah. Which I don't know if I've.
We both won free beers. Let's be honest.
We owe each other beer somewhere. We'll do it in the future.
Yeah. Well, we just kind of buy each other beers all the time. Yeah. That's about it.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. It would mean the world to us if you took our podcast and shared it with your friends.
Yeah, I mean,
your coworkers, family, whatever.
If you enjoy this new setting where it's only an hour long, share it.
Think of who else might enjoy this and share it with them.
Maybe somebody drives to work and it's an hour-long drive.
Which sounds terrible unless you have a podcast to listen to.
Exactly.
A podcast to listen to on the way to work.
Unless you have a podcast.
Tree fitty. Tree fitty.
I saw a rock this monster. And I told him. And he said, oh, give me 350. And she says, oh, here, I have 250 right here.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Oh, man.
Anyways,
thanks for listening.
once again, my name is Steven Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
And thank you again for listening into our 13th episode of American Brews and Tunes.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity beeby da.